I've spent a lot of money on LEGO in my life, and most of it I do not regret. But these sets, my brothers and sisters in brick, I absolutely do. And with that, let me make one thing clear off rip. This isn't about bad sets. Some of these sets are actually good builds. Some of them actually amazing. That's not the point. It's just that even good sets can be bad purchases. Some looked amazing online, some are way too expensive for what they are, and some just never fitted into my collection at all. So before you make the same mistake, let's talk about the LEGO sets I regret buying. And we'll start with the Dark Trooper Attack. And on paper, I guess this at least must have made some sense to me when I decided to pick it up last year. In this set, you get 3 Dark Troopers. They're alright, I like them okay. And a really cool Luke Skywalker minifig. I mean, I still love this one. You probably have lots of them at this point, but back then I didn't. And I still think he's kind of cool. This is basically a small play/display scene. It's not iconic, I guess it's from The Mandalorian, but it's still kind of cool. So what's the problem? To me, looking at it, it just feels a little empty, even with the minifigs, and it doesn't look as good as it did when I just saw the box and saw it online. The build is extremely minimal. The walls are very, very thin, and there's not a lot of heft to it. If you take the minifigs out of this Dark Trooper Attack set, there's nothing left bar a bunch of stickers, which make it feel even cheaper and even more nonsensical. It doesn't feel worth it, especially not when you overpay like I did. I think I paid over 30 euros for this. It's way too much. This was a mistake on every level. Unlike the A-frame cabin. Now, chill out. Before you type yourself into a frenzy down here. I get that you're mad. I understand that. This one hurts a bit. It hurts me to say that I kind of regret buying this. Simply because this is a beautiful set. Absolutely. It has great techniques. I like all the Easter eggs. Like somewhere in there, there's buried an Italian flag. Because the original LEGO Ideas designer is from Italy. And then there are awesome mini builds of actual sets in there if you take away parts of the set and you look down here. There it is. Here, there's a treehouse, the LEGO treehouse. This is cool. I like this a lot. But I regret it, because it looked better everywhere else I saw it at than it does in my collection. This set needs, I don't know, space. It needs context. It needs a full environment. And in my setup, it just doesn't connect to anything else. I picked up this camper van mostly because I really wanted to build it and it was kind of cheap. But it kind of works with the A-frame cabin. But that's the only thing I have that works with the cabin. Why is that? I despise camping. I hate it so much. It's the worst thing. I hate it with all my heart. It's just not for me. I do not enjoy nature. That's not who I am. So instead of being a centerpiece, which it deserves to be, it became something I didn't know what to do with. And yes, I think I'm going to part it out. And if you're a big Star Wars fan, sorry about this next one as well. The Imperial Star Destroyer. Now, this is a really good looking ship. The design is iconic and I do like it. But I like to imagine stuff in real life as well. And when I think of this, I expect something more. I expect scale. I expect presence. I expect impact. But this version, to somebody like me, just feels like a compromise. It's not detailed enough for display for me, and it's not fun enough to justify as a playset, especially for someone like me who just doesn't play with their sets. It sits in a weird middle ground. I can appreciate it for what it is, but looking at it, it just doesn't fully satisfy my eyes. I bought it for Cal Kestis because I really liked the Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order video games he appeared in. But everybody kept saying that this is the greatest Playscale ISD, so I bought it. And maybe it is, but I think what I want is a new UCS version of this. And that's exactly why I regret picking it up. So much so that, again, I'm going to have to part it out. At least gray is somewhat of a useful color. And now that I think of it, so is this haunted house from the Fairground collection. And again, this is not a bad set. It's actually a really cool idea. A drop tower ride with a haunted house aesthetic. Some cool part usage. These are little frogs over there. But here's the issue. It's just a tad too specific. It only really works if you're building a full fairground or you have a very specific display setup. I have neither. Otherwise, it just doesn't integrate anywhere. It's crazy tall. I really have a hard time finding a place for it. It's really not modular and not really display friendly on its own. And over time, it just becomes this massive, awkward thing that you don't quite know where to put. But I think I do know what I'm going to do it. Eventually, I want to come up with a concept like an outline, a design guideline for a new Gotham. I recently came across a discussion on Reddit about what the 1989 Tim Burton and Michael Keaton Batman, what they actually got right, what they did better than the stuff that came after. And most people agreed this is what Gotham should be. More Gothic, maybe a little more European, maybe a little bit more fantastical, and not just Chicago, not just present-day New York City, not just any American city with a perfect grid and layout. There's a reason they're shooting the Batman 2 in England, in the UK right now. And I think I agree with that sentiment. Maybe the set can be modified so that at least the facade somehow ends up in Gotham. That would be my best case scenario. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're doing that, let's talk about the set that shouldn't be controversial. I think we can all agree this Creative Play Droid Builder is not very good. This is one of those sets that sounds better than it actually is, if you only listen to LEGO's marketing lingo around it. Build your own droids, mix and match, creative freedom. But in reality, it just feels like a gimmick. You build it once and then maybe you swap a few parts and then you're done. That's what I did. I think that's what everybody did. There's no real long-term value, and as a display piece, it doesn't work either. Do you want to display piece? Do you want to see it displayed elsewhere? I have a hard time imagining that. If this makes you do a double take, it's not because you like what you're seeing. It ends up being not a great build experience since it's super repetitive. You're basically building the same droid over and over again with minor variation. It doesn't have a great shelf display piece presence. It's neither minifig scale, nor is it big enough to have any kind of presence on its own. And it's not something you come back to. I don't even think your kids would if you gave it to them. And that, my friends, is where regret kicks in. I potted it out. I mean, I still really like this young layer. It's the exclusive minifig that came with it. This is why I bought the set. And I still like her. But I mean, I also potted out the Spider-Man vs. Doc Ock subway train scene. This one is pure nostalgia bait, and I fell for it like a sucker. Because this scene is iconic. I loved Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man way back then, but this set, to me, just doesn't live up to it. The train feels too simplified. The build lacks weight. The whole thing feels incomplete. Would it have killed you, LEGO, to just add some track? This is a display piece without a display base. It's the simplest version of it could have been. It's one of those sets where you are buying the idea of the scene, not the actual execution. And this is the real takeaway. Most LEGO regrets don't come from actually bad sets. They come from bad decisions. And those usually fall into three categories. An idea that draws you in but then falls flat, a set that looked better online than it does in real life, or something that just doesn't fit your collection. I've made all three mistakes, and I'm sure at least some of you must have too. So next time you're about to buy that shiny brand new LEGO set, take a moment to, I don't know, really think about it. Don't just ask yourself, is this a good set? Ask, does this actually make sense for me, for my collection, for my display? Because that's the difference between a great addition and something you regret the moment it's on your shelf. You don't need everything. Nobody does. So what's a LEGO set you regret buying? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more honest takes like this, leave a sub down there as well and turn on notifications just like Thomas here did. You are a true renter, and I'll see all of you very soon. Bye-bye. Welcome to my ant card. This is just a hangout. Yeah, I'm a crank that shit. Bro, that's so damn loud. It's nothing but a little intermission. Enjoy the soothing bars of utter indecision. Buddy people, you can trust me. It's an ant card. I know all those fire jokes and get you saying hard. It's an ant card. This shit ain't some voodoo, bro. I know you want to stay, but it's time for you to go.